My name is Sharon. My colleagues and I all work at the City of Fairfax Regional Library. Welcome to Read to Your Zodiac Sign. This series is offered as a part of our adult summer reading program. We're going to break this series down into weekly installments by the 4 elements of nature: air, fire, water, and earth, each of which give the signs their distinct temperaments. We will give you a brief recap of a sign's personality traits and introduce you to a few books that we think each zodiac sign will enjoy. To learn more about astrology, you can search for books in our catalog. There are titles available in print, as ebooks on Overdrive and Libby, and as audiobooks on RB Digital. This week we're going to introduce you to the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Air signs are intellectual, analytical, and rational. They like to be on the move. Wherever the wind blows, they go. They are friendly, social, and love communication and relationships with other people. They love philosophical discussions, social gatherings, and good books. They may tend to live in their heads. Air signs enjoy giving advice. Be aware, they can also be seen as superficial.
Hello, my name is Lisa, and I'm going to talk about Aquarius. Aquarius is thought to be the most humanitarian astrological sign. Not only are they revolutionary thinkers who have aspirations to change the world, they are rebels who dislike authority and conventionality. Aquarians might relate to the protagonists of action and adventure books with rebellious characters. There are many authors with a focus on reform born under this sign. These include Thomas Paine, Charles Dickens, Sinclair Lewis, Betty Friedan, and Toni Morrison. I have a couple of fiction book suggestions for Aquarians. If you like character-driven books, try The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry by Rachel Joyce. Harold Fry hasn't heard from his former co-worker, Queenie Hennessy, in more than 20 years, but after he receives a letter from her in which she tells him of her terminal illness, he makes an impulsive decision to walk to see her, because he believes that as long as he walks, Queenie will live. There are several difficulties here. His destination is more than 500 miles away, and he has no map, no plan, no cell phone, and no decent walking shoes. But throw out the rule book, because Harold Fry is convinced he will save Queenie. His walk becomes a pilgrimage where he atones for his past mistakes and is helped by a variety of people along the way. If you prefer plot-driven page-turners, I'd suggest books by Nelson DeMille, who writes suspense stories and thrillers that play off Cold War fears, and books about international terrorism. His alpha male characters tend to have sarcastic wit and humor. Charm School is one of DeMille's earlier books, and is an old-school spy thriller. It focuses on a KGB conspiracy where Russian spies are taught to pass as Americans and then sent to become undercover agents undermining America from within. A more recent title, The Cuban Affair, introduces us to Mac, a veteran of the war in Afghanistan who has retired to Key West, where he's the owner and skipper of a deep-sea fishing charter boat. Mac is approached by Cuban exiles who want to hire him to take part in a dangerous job to recover documents and millions of dollars in Cuba. The Cuban Affair combines action and adventure with romance and background on Cuban history. If you prefer nonfiction, I'd suggest The Geography of Genius. Search for the world's most creative places from ancient Athens to Silicon Valley by Eric Weiner. Aquarians tend to be revolutionary thinkers, and in this book of travel essays, Eric Weiner explores great hotspots of innovation. What is it about certain places that have spawned artistic, intellectual, scientific, and philosophical awakenings? Weiner's engaging writing is all about the journey. I'd also like to suggest Frederick Douglass, Prophet of Freedom by David Blight. This lengthy but easily accessible and richly detailed Pulitzer Prize-winning biography of Frederick Douglass should appeal to Aquarians' desire for social justice. Douglass, born into slavery, became the voice of a generation, insisting that people of all races must have the same rights, justice, and playing field. Learn more about Douglass, his family relationships, his role in the Civil War, and his never-ending quest for civil rights and freedom.
A Gemini is lively, energetic, versatile, and clever, free-spirited, and loves to learn. They are extremely adaptable to new situations and are willing to try anything at least once. Geminis are known to be both smart and creative, and that can sometimes make one feel like two different people. They crave excitement, enjoy intellectual stimulation, and welcome the ability to express both sides of their personality. A few famous Gemini authors include Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Larry McMurtry, and Joyce Carol Oates. A literary character who could be seen to represent Geminis is Lady Macbeth. She influences those around her, is unpredictable, erratic, and hard to read. Other characters who can be seen as Geminis include Holly Golightly from Breakfast at Tiffany's by Truman Capote, Edward Cullen from Twilight, Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter, and Peter Pan. Lisa Scottolini writes legal thrillers and is co-author of several collections of humorous essays, the co being her daughter Francesca Saratella. I enjoyed listening to their stories in the car. They were short enough to listen to on my commute to work, and my husband laughed out loud while listening to them with me on a more extended road trip. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson is a novella about an individual with two personas, one good and one evil. Since every Gemini is known for having two different sides, this makes for a perfect read. You can access this title as a book, as an always available Overdrive ebook, and as an Overdrive e-audio. Another book a Gemini might want to try is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. This tale of true love, high adventure, pirates, princesses, giants, and miracles is rich in character and satire and is whip smart. We also own the DVD of the movie by the same name. Its director, Rob Reiner, narrates the audio version of the book. In conjunction with The Princess Bride, I suggest you listen or read to the memoir As You Wish by Cary Elwes. Cary Elwes, who played Westley in the movie version of The Princess Bride, offers a behind-the-scenes look at the cult classic film. There are plenty of set secrets and backstage stories, and if you listen to the book on CD, you get to enjoy Wesley's accent as he narrates the book. Geminis are said to know a little bit about everything. To learn a little bit more, try a volume or two from the Very Short Introduction to series. It's a way to learn a little about a lot of things. Many of the e-audio titles available at RB Digital differ from the titles of the books that the library has available in print, so be sure to check out both collections. Want to learn about things you didn't even know you wanted to know about? Try Smithsonian Magazine or National Geographic, both of which are available in print in several branches, as well as for free on RB Digital.
Hi, my name is Becky, and I'm going to be talking about Libras today. Full disclosure, I am a Libra. Libras are known for being pithy. Everything we do is for balance and beauty. We have a propensity for the arts, be it language, music, design, or whatever you can dream up. Ours is the only sign symbol that is an inanimate object. The scales of justice reflect our strong concern for social justice, our tendency to weigh the options, although perhaps sometimes to the point of indecisiveness. Some famous Libran literary characters include Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City and Atticus Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird. Some famous Libran authors include Oscar Wilde, F. Scott Fitzgerald, Rupi Kaur, Arthur Miller, Nora Roberts, and Piper Kerman. My first recommendation is one of my favorite books, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. Tartt has been described as a Dickens-like author for her unflinching examination of a young man orphaned after a terrorist attack on the Metropolitan Museum of Art. He runs back to his apartment, clutching the Goldfinch painting, and the story follows him throughout the rest of his life. My next recommendation is to read anything by David Sedaris. He is an essayist with a gift for storytelling that any Libran will appreciate. He is known for pragmatic storytelling of preposterous situations. His most famous work is Holidays on Ice, in which he describes being an elf for a Macy's in New York City in Christmas time. My last recommendation is a book of poetry. I do think poetry would in general appeal to Librans, but this particular book, Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur, I think will resonate. Poetry appeals to the Libran interest in the arts. Kaur's poetry specifically appeals to the concern for social justice, for modern feminism, and the beauty of the words both from an aesthetic and contemplative point of view.
Thank you for joining us for book suggestions for air signs. Please come back next week when we'll talk about another group of zodiac signs.